end of this seminar, which I'm sure was very productive and very fruitful for all our colleagues. So with the purpose of formally ending this seminar, I will ask first Francisco Trigo from the National University here in Mexico. He's coordinator for international affairs at UNAM. I will ask him first to give some thoughts or some words to conclude this seminar. I then will pass the microphone to Dr. Wang, and then I will try to summarize and then just say goodbye to all our participants and organizers of the seminar. So, Francisco, please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Anna, for sharing the microphone with me. It has been a wonderful experience. I can summarize in this short way. The mutual growth of this team that we have consolidated. Let me remind that this is the fourth effort that we have done among our three institutions, the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, Colmex, and the National University of Mexico. So over time, mutual trust has been developed, and in this time, everything really changed because we had to improvise and do everything on distance, not as the previous three events. So taking a balance of all the challenges we had to meet, I think the result has been wonderful. The program, well balanced, talking about the pandemic that we are suffering right now in the whole world, but being discussed from different perspectives, the socioeconomic impacts, the sanitary crisis and challenges for women, the cities, how have been affected during this pandemic time, the big challenges for the health systems, society, and even law, constitutional law, local law in all our countries. The international cooperation for the development was also well discussed. And a few minutes ago, the discussion of challenges of higher education and research also have been thoroughly discussed. For us in academia, a few months ago, we had to make sudden changes from a presential activity to an online, having to train our faculty members, having to switch our courses into online fashion. So it has been quite a huge challenge for the whole of humanity. And I think that we can be quite satisfied with the accomplishments of our meeting during these days. I want to congratulate the team, not the directives, but the team that was working regularly day by day to make things happen. A well-deserved recognition for Amaury Garcia, who was the chair of articulating all these activities. Congratulations, Amaury, wonderful work with all the Colmex team. We also had the team of UNAM in China with Guillermo Pulido, with Edmundo, with Raul, our big companion from the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, Luna, with whom we have worked for many years, and also the people from UNAM, the team of PUEA, the Program of Studies Africa and Asia, led by Alicia Giron, but mostly Vania de la Vega doing an excellent work, and obviously at the Coordination of International Relations, Lisbeth Campos and the rest of the team. Though they have done a wonderful, wonderful team trying to solve all the big challenges coming every day. So I think we can be quite satisfied with the accomplishments of this activity. Was well attended by public in different institutions. That was one of our goals. And we can say challenge accomplished, well met, and we can meet again in 2 years' time we hope presentially. Now the meeting would be in China, but I hope the conditions are totally different and we can reestablish our mutual friendship between the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, Colmex, and the National University of Mexico. Thank you very much to all of you, and good wishes.
Thank you, Dr. Trigo. Thank you very much. Indeed, UNAM collaboration is essential in these seminars and in this bilateral relationship with China. I will now pass the microphone to Dr. Wang, who is the General Director of the Bureau of International Cooperation at the Academy of Social Sciences. Dr. Wang, please. Dr. Wang, we can't hear you.
Okay, now it's
That's
fine.
it.
Yeah. Thank you, Anna, and thanks for the speech by Francisco Torrigo. On behalf of the International Cooperation Bureau of CAS, I would like to congratulate on the success of this joint seminar. Just as mentioned by Francisco, this is already the fourth. So that means we already have this mechanism to have regular dialogue and exchange. I also would like to express our gratitude for all scholars, experts to participate in this very important event. During the course of the seminar, very broad areas have been discussed, from socio-economic development to protection for vulnerable groups, city management, medical care. So actually, in the context of the pandemic, really a lot of very sharp challenges now we are facing too. And this is also the good moment for us to consider and reflect what could be the most important areas for our social scientists to work together and to explore further. So I would like to mention some dimensions, I think in the context of the pandemic, which have been proven very important for us to engage in further discussion and research. The first one is the application of new technology and the importance of science. In the combat, in the fight against the COVID-19, it is very apparent. The medical service, the vaccine development, and the internet, all these are playing very, very crucial role for human beings fight against the virus. And especially like the internet. So we still can have this chance, even in the context of COVID-19, we can still have this seminar is because of this new technology, internet. And we also can foresee in the coming years, the application of internet, the AI, the big data, the cloud computing, all these new technologies will have very heavy impact, positive contribution to the world's growth in the future. So I think we should have our increasing attention to this area to see what opportunities they will bring to us, and at the same time to look into the problems maybe these new technologies will trigger. And also to take the opportunity of this new revolution of science and technology to explore new resources to have our future development. Second, I think very important is during this COVID-19, it has been proven the decision making is so important. We need the very efficient, effective, responsive, and adaptive policy making, decision making process, because we have to consider what kind of approaches we should adopt to fight against the spread of the virus, and how to balance the virus prevention and the normal social life and the economic operation. So different countries, they based on the real situation, the different conditions of their country, they take different approaches. So in China, we have taken very thorough approach to ensure to block the spread of the virus. And now we see the good momentum of recovery in terms of economic growth and social development. So for social scientists, we have the expertise and knowledge to help the government to take the effective and efficient measures to deal with the social and the economic challenges. Like in the field of fiscal policy, in the field of monetary policy, and in the sense of how to utilize the social resources to provide support for the vulnerable groups. Thirdly, I think very important is we are united by this fight against COVID-19. All countries, we are very closely connected. In such a situation, what kind of approach and stance we can take to treat each other, to deal with each other. That's very important for the human being as a whole to deal with this big challenge. At the economic sense, the global industrial chain, the global value chain, the global logistic circulation are greatly impacted by this widespread pandemic. So how to manage at a global level the relations in economically, politically among all the countries in the human community is also a very big priority for us, even for social scientists to consider. So the Chinese approach is to achieve the win-win situation, to keep openness, and you all know we try to develop this One Belt, One Road big program, which is aimed to promote the connectivity and openness and the cooperation among countries, which we expect to make the cake bigger and bigger, and all members can share the results. I think the above dimensions, I think, are very important and crucial issues. Science and technology, policy, countermeasures to the challenge, and the international cooperation. I think for China and Mexico, we are two major economies, and both of us of huge population. So that means we have big advantage. We have big markets. We have rich human natural resources, but we are still in the process to build up a prosperous society. So I think we have all the reasons to continue and deepen our collaboration and dialogues through the channel of social sciences and the humanities. I think for our three institutions, Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, the Mexico National Universities, the College Institute of Mexico, all three of us, we are the top national research institutions. So we should play our special role in terms of building up a stronger, more solid bilateral relationship, in terms of international cooperation and the people-to-people exchange. So I think our mechanism of this seminar should continue. And also I would like to propose, thanks to the new technology, like the internet, we should have more frequent dialogue and meetings on the concrete subjects, to have some kind of thematic series of communication and dialogue on the issues we find important for us and for the world, to better utilize our human resources in our institutions. This is my first suggestion. The second suggestion is now we are building up a joint venture in the Institute of Mexico. It's called the Joint Observatory of China Studies. The idea is to provide a new platform for our two sides to have more well-structured and regular exchange at academic levels. From our CAS side, you know, we have about 40 research institutes covering all major research areas of social sciences and humanities. So they are very good windows for other countries, for Mexican researchers, students, to know the new developments in China, and for us to discuss our potential of cooperation. So I wish in the future, in the coming year, we can really make this joint venture an effective platform. So finally, I express my deep gratitude for our two partners, and also for the working teams on our two sides to make this seminar a very successful one. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lang. I couldn't agree more with you that it is really science which will allow us to overcome this pandemic and its midterm and long-term effects, because we will be living the consequences of this pandemic, I believe, for quite a few years still. And yes, I am sure Dr. Trigo will agree with me. We will take your suggestion and we will organize very specific seminars in very specific topics relating to both China and Mexico, now that the internet allows us to do, you know, these seminars despite the huge distance between our countries. I would like to thank Professor Amaury Garcia for inviting me to share with you some thoughts about the seminar and about international academic collaboration. The seminar was, in my view, a great success. Firstly, because it proved the viability of academic collaboration in very difficult circumstances. We, of course, missed meeting our colleagues in person, but we were able to exchange ideas and discuss very pertinent subjects of great importance to both China and Mexico. Secondly, the seminar strengthened relations between El Colegio de México, UNAM, and the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. No matter what the circumstances, we managed to continue with our joint seminar. Let me thank and congratulate the organizers, participants and chairs of each session, and of course, all the IT personnel behind the scenes who in the end made the seminar possible. As the sessions in the seminar demonstrated, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed and will continue to change the way in which we research, teach, and share our knowledge. It is also changing diplomacy and international relations, and the world will be a different place in many ways after the pandemic. Therefore, I would like to ask UNAM and the Chinese Academy to join El Colegio in thinking how we should strengthen and redefine international academic collaboration and exchanges in terms of subjects to be analyzed and means. In other words, what should we be studying in a pandemic and post-pandemic world, and how? How should we prepare our students for a post-pandemic world? These, I believe, are key questions for what we do every day. We are convinced today more than ever of the value of international academic collaboration. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected all of us, everywhere in the world. Yes, in different ways, but we now speak a common language, that of COVID-19. Health, masks, sanitizing gels, confinement, online platforms, Zoom, etc. It is therefore essential to share experiences not only to solve practical problems posed by the health crisis, some of them discussed in this seminar, as it has been said, cities, women, health services, the economy, law, international cooperation, and education, but also to learn more about different ways of life, cultures, habits, etc. Knowledge and culture are part of the human being. They improve our lives as individuals and collectively, and there is no doubt about the richness of Mexican and Chinese cultures and the human capital in both countries. Knowledge and culture inspire and encourage partnerships such as ours. Thus, let me finish by reassuring El Colegio de Mexico's strong willingness to continue working with the Chinese Academy and UNAM in learning more about our countries and the way in which they perceive and act in the world. It is my great hope that we will meet in person in the 5th seminar on Sino-Mexican relations in Beijing, perhaps, and we will look back at the current situation with mixed feelings, surely, but also having learned that we are resilient and determined in our purpose to continue with the work we share. Many thanks again to all who made this seminar possible, and my best wishes. Please be safe and stay healthy. Good night, Mexico City, and good morning, Beijing. Thank you very much indeed. And thank you, Amari. I know you can't speak, but thank you very much for all your effort.